Here are Boaz's Polaroids. They've been on a world tour since their New York Art Gallery debut. Boaz is connected to Warhol in that he also is a nerdy guy, celebrity-obsessed, lived with his mum. But Warhol did his silkscreen paintings with a sophisticated, knowing, aesthete's eye. He played simple, whereas Boaz really was an innocent.
I was just obsessed with fame, period, fame. It didn't matter if you were a politician, a porno star, an athlete. I had to get you, you know. And if I knew you were somewhere, I was going to get you.
And what happiness would that give you to get me?
Oh, but when I went home at night knowing what all I accomplished, it was a thrill, you know.
But what did you think you had accomplished?
I don't know. I guess it was like collecting stamps or coins when you get that coin you need or that stamp you need. I mean, this was what I chose as a hobby, you know.
So it's a kind of completing.
And plus, the rapport with people, you know, that feeling that aura, getting touched with fame for that moment, and then going home and watching the movies thinking, God, I just spent some time with that person, you know.
You're a nice old-fashioned type with your nostalgia for the stars of the past. But why do you think that you've now somehow achieved the status in people's minds of an artist?
Yeah, that was the oddest for me. When they approached me last February to do a show at the Deitch Galleries in New York, I thought, an art gallery? Why would I be in an art gallery?
Not just any art gallery, but that is a cutting-edge art gallery where avant-garde stuff is shown.
And they kept trying to tell me this, and I kept thinking, it means nothing to me. But then afterwards, it did a lot, because once I realized that the art world was grasping this, I mean, people are buying my prints. Sofia Coppola was just talking to me the other night. She had just bought a print of Barry Manilow and ordered another one of Bob Fosse as I was standing there. And she has it hanging on her wall. And I thought, this is so bizarre to me, you know, that why would you want not only my picture, but a picture of that to hang on your wall when you could have any art in the world with your fame, you know, and so that's a little trippy for me, you know.
Have you ever photographed Andy Warhol, who must be the sort of god of your world, I suppose?
It's funny because as I was meeting him, no, because I went to Studio 54 a lot. I got to hang out with him. I didn't realize, you know, here he was. I mean, he was just a weird guy to me.
All right, you know, so although we would think that it's now a Warhol world and you must be an acolyte of Warhol, he meant nothing to you at this
Absolutely
time.
Nothing. I had no idea he was famous until one time he signed my autograph and he drew the Campbell soup can. And then I thought, oh, what's this? And I said, that's what he's famous for. And I thought, oh, I had no clue. No clue that he was an artist.
His innocence gives him something special, more than if his pictures were better framed and glossy. It makes you hungry to see the reality of these 70s stars. It makes the other paparazzi hate him because they think he's a freak. But he has his stars to love him, even though they don't really.
Here's Katharine Hepburn. Here's this letter where she's basically telling me to get a life.
Dear Gary Boaz, I remember you well, I think. Forest Theatre, Gravity. That is very silly of you, I think. Why a picture of some so-called famous personality? It is proof that I am a nuisance pursuing notoriety. Think it over. There are so many worthwhile things to do in life.
Well, I did. I picked up a camera. I went the other way.
Yum. The best flavour of all. A Brad and Jennifer sandwich. I've got indigestion now. In the next part, I'm going to a minimalist art gallery to see some high culture and get purged. There must be some sanctuary from the celebrity glare. Welcome back. This is the very last part of Hello Culture, and our theme is celebrity culture. Is it the end of civilization? Final rundown commences at the Modern Art Museum. It used to stand for pure abstraction, pared down circles, reflecting the pared down look of early 20th century modern art. In our new century, though, we have postmodernism. It merges together the high-minded and the moronic, so you can feel dizzy from trying to tell the difference.
I need a break from populism and dumbing down. I need a culture fix. That's why I've come here to New York's Guggenheim Museum, where they keep the Kandinskys and the Paul Clays.
It's a bit disappointing to find out that the show on here today is only of Suits by Armani. There's no way that he's modern art.
Hang on. It says here that he is.
The faint and the fuzzy. Armani's fashion design is demonstrated to be great art at the Guggenheim by an appeal to a popular idea of what greatness possibly feels like. Something ethereal, heavenly, vague.
Everything has been made to look like a certain type of minimalism, where you can't actually see anything, because it's been scrimmed up. Behind the scrim is the haute couture. From the other side of the scrim, all you see are points of light and shadowy figures looking at the show. And what you hear is the world music soundtrack in a minimally modulated, generalized New Age style. Everything has been middle class down from the lofty, difficult heights of avant-gardism that this building used to symbolize. Anything remotely difficult or clashing or discordant or a bit too exciting about the art gallery experience has been beautifully filleted out.
To me, the pretensions of this show are absurd, but actually I can see a demonstration here of the resilience of romantic values, timeless, elegant beauty. I don't think Armani is a great artist or an artist at all, but I can see something he has to offer to art. It's not the $15 million he's donated to the Guggenheim over the past few years, which some critics have complained is the only reason he's got an exhibition here. It really is something about his clothes. They're worn by the rich and famous because they're a byword for beauty. Beauty for its own sake is something the art world has renounced. Art today is more interested in ideas. Beauty worship comes from romanticism. If Byron were alive today, he'd probably think Armani was fine. He knew what beauty was. Today's art has kept some things about romanticism, but not beauty. And now here's culture getting beauty into art anyway, by pretending fashion is art and putting some of it in an art gallery. Well done, culture. London's East End, the world of today's artists, who swim in the shallow waters of celebrity, like little fish waiting to be hooked by the giant fishing rods of galleries, TV and lifestyle magazines.
Who rules London's art scene? Tim Noble and Sue Webster. Artists. Neon, litter and stuffed animals, that's entertainment. Known for their dazzling neon lightworks, their deceptively intricate arrangements of rubbish which, when illuminated, cast perfect shadows of the artists themselves, and their fuck-off attitude, Tim Noble and Sue Webster are among the youngest and newest artists in the Time Out Top 25, yet they are currently turning down offers of exhibitions at a rate of about 4 a day.
Charming. I see in these bubbly spa waters another bit of romanticism flowing into the present. It's a different angle on celebrity than the Armani Guggenheim angle. I think these artists are shameless grabbers of celebrity and fame, but they question celebrity as well, and it's romantic for artists to have a challenging attitude towards society's obsessions. Wearing lowbrow monobrows from the makeup cupboard, they seem to ask, what is an artist in celebrity culture but a dumbed-down barbarian? And what is celebrity but rubbish? Rubbish is in fact the material of the artworks that have made these artists successful. This is one of their piles of rubbish. It's called The Undesirables. It's at the Royal Academy in London. They've made their own silhouette at the top, out of shadows. A trashy neon sunset nearby flickers. It's like a nature poem by Coleridge, but with nature's beauty replaced by trash. Ah, slowly sink behind the western ridge, thou glorious sun. Shine in the slant beams of the sinking orb, ye purple heath flowers, or, if not purple heath flowers, ye Dickensian waif-looking young British artists on top of a mountain of modern British rubbish. The Royal Academy of Art was founded in the 18th century, when it was promptly rebelled against by William Blake, the great romantic artist and poet, because he rejected academic values. But now the Academy doesn't have any values, except success to get its ratings up. The Undesirables doesn't have much aestheticism, but it does have some rich ideas. From shadowy and murky origins, these artists seem to say, we've made it to the celebrity heights. But what did we find up there that was really worth having?
I hate the idea of celebrity. I want nothing to do with it. I just think that you've got your A-list, your B-list, your C-list.
And your shit list.